I'm Verna Strayer, married to Bryce Strayer, and we live on a farm north of Keene, northeast. But I came from up around Clark. My mother was born and raised in Mill Creek Township, December the 20th, 1895. She always told me she loved school, but when she was not quite 14, they came to school and told her mother had died. And she says, I knew right then I'd never get to go back to school.
And what about the, I think it's called the Garden of Eden quilt?
Well, that's the one that was made by my grandmother, Barbara Ellen Asar. After my great-grandmother, Elizabeth Conrad Asar, died, my grandmother made this quilt from the clothes that she wore. Did you remember the little scrap of paper that was in with that card?
Yeah.
He got the quilt first. That was a cousin. And then he gave it to my mother.
So your mother was lucky.
Yes, it was because she was so quilty. I mean, she was into quilts, so I'm sure that's why he gave it to her.
Your mother was quite a quilter.
She quilted, really, hardly in her teens yet, she said she quilted. And then she has quilted all her life then and passed away in 87. At one time, a preacher was leaving from their church. This was up at Shepler's church. You want to know what they could give him? They said, oh, let's give him a quilt. Mom had a week to make it and quilt it. But she got her done. But she was a widow by that time, and sometimes she'd get up in the middle of the night and quilt. She had some people tell her that they went by the house. Now, the house set kind of low, but she had a big bay window, and when she was alone, a widow, she kept her quilt frame out there. And they said, we went by at 2 o'clock, and you was quilting. She said, if I can't sleep, I go quilt. That was her pastime.